Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We have reached the end of the road. We are less than a week away from a new Mario Kart game, which is still kind of unreal to think about, considering we've had this one for the past 11 years. As of today. So it actually worked out that this stream got delayed a few times, because now I can do it on the day of the original game's release. So it's a little more special. But let me also get my recording started, because I'm going to be making this into a YouTube video, hopefully. Alright, so what I have is a tier list of all 96 tracks, including the variations of Animal Crossing, because I do have different rankings for those, into 5 different tiers. Because the original one had 7, and that was too much. I want to make it at least a little bit simple. So, anyway. We are going to be playing the tracks in order, so that we can refresh ourselves on how they are. And I'm going to be playing against bots because that's the easiest way to just do 96, or just do the tracks all in order without any interruptions. So I'm not trying to do that online. Yeah, so basically the way we'll do this is we will play every track in 150cc. We'll use hard computers, and then we go to 48. That's just the first half. And choose an order. No custom items. We will just do normal items. No teams. Yeah, this looks good. So we're going to play the track, and then we'll put it on the tier list, and then we'll move on to the next one. So hopefully each track will not take any longer than like 3 minutes. We will see. And I might have to pause at some point during this to take care of something, so I will probably be taking a short break at some point, but I will let you guys know when that comes. Anyway, I'm gonna give it a few minutes just for some more people to roll in case anybody else was interested in watching. I also haven't set my Snapchat streaks today, so I guess this can be that. I was actually like ready to go at 6, and then my capture card audio wasn't working because there's this weird thing it does with my PC where if I have it plugged in when I boot up my PC, the audio just doesn't work. And I have to, in order to fix it, I have to unplug it and plug it back in. But whenever I unplug the capture card from my computer crashes. And then I have to wait for it to reboot and then plug it back in, and then everything works fine. I don't know why it does that. My computer is like almost 8 years old now, so it's probably just something weird with the like the drivers. Because whenever it crashes, I get one of two errors. It's either page fault in non-paged area, or was it like driver something? I think it's like driver unloaded without canceling pending operations or something like that. But yeah, kind of annoying. I wish I didn't have to do that every single time I want to, you know, fix that issue, but I don't have a choice. So, fun times. This plugged in there. Hopefully you guys can't hear my computer right now because it's quite loud. That's the one. Okay. I also set up my I finally set up my stream deck so I can use it while I'm streaming, and I can just like easily swap between, you know, different scenes. So I can just press that button, and now, and I also set it so that it like edits all the audio and stuff to sound correct. But anyway, I think we've stalled long enough. I think it's finally time to undergo this gargantuan task we've put in front of ourselves. But I really wanted to do this before Mario Kart World came out, and we're kind of running out of time, so it's now or never. So let's get going. Oh, if I just choose this, it'll just go. Okay. Alright, here we go. First track, Mario Kart Stadium. I'll probably talk a little bit about the tracks as I'm playing them. Give some insight. And I am choosing to play them because I know if I just go based off of memory, I'm going to forget something, and then the tier list won't be as accurate, so I'd rather do that. And as much as I want to play on 200cc to speed things up, playing on 200cc and 150 are like two totally different games. Though some tracks suck, and some tracks... That was really weird. What was that momentum boost I got? So, yeah, anyway, some tracks... So on 150cc, you know, a lot of tracks are like totally different from 200. But yeah, this track has a reputation of being pretty mid. And I definitely agree with that sentiment. Whoa, okay. Who's the CPU that knows I take that cut? It's a blue shell. I don't know how to react to it. I'm just gonna take it. Probably not the way to do this. No, it's fine. But yeah, I think for me, this track is the middle ground. This is every track in the game is either better or worse than Stadium. So. A lot of, well, at least at the beginning, you know, it's going to be based off of that. The other thing I'm not, like, super comfortable with is putting things into rankings. So, like, I don't know exactly how the tiers are going to look by the end of this. But, anyway, Mario Kart Stadium. Mario Kart Stadium is nothing special. Like I said, it is the middle ground. Every track is either better or worse than Mario Kart Stadium, so that gets B tier for me. I don't think it's objectively bad, but it doesn't really have much going for it either. I think it's inoffensive, I would call it. Also, I have a feeling the game audio might be a little bit loud, so I will turn that down a little bit. Hopefully that's a little bit better, because I don't want the game audio to be, like, drowning out my mic. That should have fixed it, I hope. Probably go a little bit higher, actually. Let's just do that. That should be good. Okay. That is all good there. I'm happy with putting that in B tier. So now we will move on to Sweet Sweet Canyon. Ugh. What's wrong with my... Sorry, I'm wrong. It's a water park. That's actually the perfect segue into this track, because that perfectly describes how I would classify it. Completely and utterly forgettable. This track doesn't really have anything special going for it either. But unlike Mario Kart Stadium, this track is just not memorable at all. Like, it has the big loop here at the beginning, which is like the big defining feature. But then that's about it. And then you just kind of drive through here and you're done. Like, the concept is cool, like driving through a water park. They could have done more with it. It is quite upsetting that they didn't really you know, use this idea to its fullest potential. But there are a lot of tracks in this game now, anyway. I don't know how the CPUs are keeping up with me. Okay, that was a waste of a bomb. I should have just held that. Yeah, I really should have held that bomb. It's fine. Surely we're not going to get redded out. But yeah, I mean, like, being able to take that cut through there is pretty cool. But, like, that's it. That's, like, the only cut on this map. And it just kind of ends. Yeah, so, water park. Water park, I would say... I would put that below Mario Kart Stadium. I don't think it's... Again, I don't think it's, like, a bad track, objectively. I think it's just sort of... meh. Just doesn't really do much. It's kind of underwhelming. Similar to Mario Kart Stadium. You know, not good, but not bad either. Hi, Wombonomics. Thanks for the follow. Appreciated. You're just in time. We are just getting started. 94 tracks to go. So now we're going to Sweet Sweet Canyon. Which, right off the bat, I kind of have mixed opinions. Like, again, cool concept, and I think they executed it pretty well. But, like, I don't know, I think it's, for me, it's more of a personal thing. I think I just don't prefer this track. I think I would, I have a couple things to talk about. First of all, well, things to talk about that will also come up in other maps, too. One of them being the cannon gliders. A lot of my rankings are also going to be from the perspective of somebody who plays competitive. So, anybody who plays competitive knows that cannon gliders are ripe for bagging because of how far ahead you can get. Or how far ahead first can get, and then everybody behind can just pull insane items because of distance. So there are a lot of tracks that kind of get ruined by that. Honestly, I feel like this is one of them. Like, I feel like the cannon glider is a little bit unnecessary. I feel like this track would be better off without it. But that's really the only, like, bad thing I have to say about this track. It is probably most of the reason why I don't have a strong preference towards it. The glider? Okay. Like, having the split path here is pretty cool. Not sure why you go underwater for, like, 2 seconds there, but... you know, whatever. Add some variety. Why not? So, Sweet Sweet Canyon. I don't feel comfortable enough putting it in A tier. I think it's like a high B tier for me. Honestly. So, that's where it's gonna go. I'm gonna put you... no, not there. It will probably stay towards the top of B tier for me, I think. I feel comfortable leaving it there for now, but still have a long way to go, so... Alright, coming up, I think we might have our first A tier. Because this track is criminally underrated. A lot of people overlook this track just because it's one of the first ones in the game, but I think there's a lot of fun to be had. Like, I like all the wall riding sections that let you, you know, ride the walls. It also feels like they're sufficiently fast enough to, like, help you keep pace with people in front of you without falling too far behind. The only, I think one big problem I have, or at least the problem I had with this track, is that shortcut is a little tricky at first, but that's probably just a skill issue on my part. I didn't, oh my god, I did drop it, and then it just didn't do anything. Great. That Nisk is also pretty cool, if you can do it, which, I mean, I have done it before. I'm just not consistent with it, so, okay. Nice red skip. I don't think I've ever done that on this track, but... yeah, like this glider section at the end. Another thing with, another common thing that's gonna come up a lot is, what is it? What's it? Straightaways on tracks. Because straightaways can be a death sentence if you are not far enough ahead. Because it is so easy to just lob items forward and just completely, and just like spread them across the entire width of the track so that the person ahead of them just like can't do anything and has to get hit. So tracks with long straightaways definitely lose some points for me. Okay. But I feel like shock is not really that common on this map, but I'm just getting unlucky. Also, I'm playing CPUs. But yeah, I think this track has a lot of really cool elements to it. It's very dynamic, at least compared to the ones before it. So Swamp Ruins gets our first A tier. That is the end of Mushroom Cup. I thought about ranking the cups too, but I think that's just going to be too much to do. We already have to play through all the tracks, so I'm going to refrain from doing that. Okay, Mario Circuit. This is probably going to be the first controversial pick for me. I think from now on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save talking about the actual track until the end of the... Maybe... I was thinking, I have like online brain. I was like afraid of getting lag trailed there. Need to remember I'm not playing online. So if it looks like it's going to happen, it will happen. I was about to ask if the CPUs knew how to take the cut, but I think they do. Whoa, that was not coming from me. Okay. This green shell needs to fuck off. It like almost hit me too. So yeah. Okay, alright, I should get to talking about the track. Anyway, so yeah, a lot of people don't like this track just because A, it's a shroom up track, which is true. You know, it's very easy to just hold a mushroom until this last turn here and then pull ahead and win, basically for free. But I don't know, I have this weird personal attachment to this track that I just can't describe. For some reason, it just like, it has a very special place in my heart. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that this was the music they used for the very first trailer for this game. So, and as I stated in the tweet that I made about this, I was like super hyped for this game, and I watched that trailer over and over and over again. So this music is like super nostalgic to me. That was stupid. It's fucking stupid. Hi, Bear Type. Sorry I didn't respond earlier. I was locking in. Yeah, apologies in advance if I don't respond to everybody in chat like immediately, because I'm gonna be talking a lot in this stream, obviously. And then I also have to focus on playing the game at the same time, which is a lot for my brain to handle at once. But I will do my best. Okay, Mario Circuit. Mario Circuit is going to get... Yeah, like I said, a lot of the reasons for my placing here is just personal. This is definitely a very subjective pick, but I think I'm gonna put this. No, you stay. I am going to put this A tier. I don't think it quite beats Thwomp Ruins, just because it is an objectively better track. Let's be real. Who's picking? Like, nobody's picking Mario Circuit over Thwomp Ruins, but for me personally, they are very close. So I think that's probably the first like controversial pick so far, but it's my tier list and that's what I'm picking. So all right, now we're getting into the like good tracks, or at least we're getting to a lot of the tracks that are going to place decently well from me. So yeah, I think it's pretty I think Toad Harbor is like a pretty universally enjoyed track. I don't think anybody really hates this track, and I feel the same way. But I don't know, there might be someone out there who like despises this track. We're not getting that trolley bounce. Fail. It's the green shell I threw. Yeah, but also this track also has like a pretty long straightaway. I don't think it's too bad because it's halfway between laps. So you only have to deal with a little bit of it as you're ending the lap. Like straightaways at the beginning of the course really don't mean much because you're you're not gonna have any items or anything, so you don't have to really dodge. I mean, unless you're going into lap 2 or 3, then it matters. Another thing this course does, that a lot of courses do with straightaways is, like, you know, this, where if you look on the map, like, it's a very long, straight path, but there's enough going on to keep it dynamic so that you're not just driving straight forward, you know, waiting for the next turn. And you actually, like, have the ability to, you know, dodge items, and you're not just gonna get screwed over. Oh, here we go, now we can get the Charlie bounce. Unless I suck at the game. No trolley bounce. Unfortunate. Yeah, Toad Harbor's a really cool track. I like it. I think that's a sentiment that's shared by a lot of people, so no surprise there. Do I like it more than Thwomp Ruins? Nah. Mario Circuit, I have a feeling Mario Circuit's gonna end up in like a lower on the A tier. But the fact that it even is in A tier is gonna get a lot of raised brows from people. I guarantee. I'm looking forward to people's reactions to this. Because, like, I'm not the best competitive player, but I have a good understanding of, like, the competitive meta. Especially when it comes to, like, track picks. So, like, Twisted Mansion is also a very, I know, like, I feel like Twisted Mansion is very hit or miss with everyone. Like, everybody either loves this track or they hate this track. Because, like, I don't think I've ever met anybody who's played this track and it's like, yeah, this is alright. You know, I don't feel strongly about it. Everybody's either like, this is the best track in the game, or this is the worst. Like, I know an Anomaly from KU hates this track. He even went as far as to put it below Bone Dry Dunes, which, if you've watched any of my streams, or, you know, if you've watched me play this game at all, you know how I feel about that track, and you probably know where it's going to end up. But we're talking about this track right now, so let's talk about this track. Again, this one also has straightaways, but there's enough going on where it's not egregious. Although those are, like, really narrow corridors, so it's, you know, if you don't have a defensive item, you're kind of screwed. That's basically just a free hit, which is not the greatest, but... Another thing is this track also feels kind of awkward to drive sometimes. Like, towards the end here, when you get to when you take the cut in the grass through here, like, I feel like it's super easy to, like, hit trees and shit, like, especially when you're trying to, like, thread that needle to get to the finish. Like, it would have been nice if they just made that like, they didn't have a wall there and you could just drive in the grass to the finish, but... Again, probably just a skill issue. This is probably one of the better made water sections in this game. Like, it doesn't really feel like it messes with with the physics too much. It does it in like the right way, where it feels more, where it makes it more interesting to drive, and does not, like, totally bog down your, like, speed or turning. There's a freaking ad coming up. Oop. Probably gonna have to find some time to play those ads, because they're just gonna keep popping up otherwise. Anyway. Twisted Mansion. That's gonna be... I think I'm gonna put that one above Thwomp Ruins. I don't think it is quite S tier. S tier for me is going to be like the best of the best. Like those are the good ones. Those like I will pick them every time. But for now, we haven't quite reached S tier yet. For me personally. I don't expect to change my opinions too much after the fact, like after the whole thing is made. But if I like see something and I'm like, wait, why did I put that there? That's stupid. Especially because like once I play later tracks, I might look back at the other ones and be like, yeah, no, I don't think that one's actually as good as this one is too. Shy Guy Falls, for me, is a great track. I really like the going up. I think, like, for me, I think the aesthetics are what win me over on this one. And, like, the spectacle of it, just, like, driving up and down the waterfall, driving past all the Shy Guys, making the noises. Like, the Shy Guys are also... what give this track some bonus points above others. Like, trying to listen to this song without the Shy Guys in the background going meow, 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 meow. It's just not the same. It doesn't hit the same. Like, this is, like, for me, this is a great track because it's dynamic. It's fun to drive on, and it requires skill. Like that shortcut there that you take through that grass, that's not just like a free shroom cut. Like you can't just shroom through there and, you know, end up on the other side. Like you have to be prepared to make the turn so that you don't just fly off the edge. Which I appreciate. It adds some skill to it instead of just giving players like a free shortcut. Like a lot of grass cuts are, but... And the really skilled players can do it without mushrooms. I learned how to, but I'm kind of rusty with it, so I probably can't do it now, but... There was a time. Oh boy. You know what? What the hell? We'll go for it. Ah, almost. Surprised I didn't hit anybody with that. This track is also infamous for fucking me over whenever I tried to beat Flower Cup in the original version, because for some reason this, like, I just always got walled on this track. I just couldn't get past it, but obviously that's not the case anymore. Shy Guy Falls, you are the first S tier track. Congratulations. You have earned your spot at the top of the rankings from me. And anybody who says otherwise is objectively wrong. Sunshine Airport. Man, I forgot how much, or actually, no, this is Star Cup now. We were in Flower. I forgot how many bangers you get just, like, in the middle of the original tracks. Just, like, back to back. Like, they really, when it came to, like, making the tracks, they really locked in about halfway through. Kind of crazy. No, not the ad break. Yeah, that ad breaks right now. I'm in the middle of something. Wait, hold on, let me use that real quick. Okay. There we go. You can only do that one more time, so I have to use it wisely. Yeah, so I think most of the reason I like this track is just because it's just fun to drive. This is just a fun track to drive on. And the fact that it's a runner helps with that, too. So you can drive on it. Like, there are tracks... I feel like there are tracks in this game that are fun to drive on, but they're not really made for running. So you can't really, you know, do that on them. You can't really move with them. But... I mean, you can try, but you're just gonna get blued and shocked and redded and bombed and every other item under the sun. And of course, the glider, like getting the vector gliding on the glider at the end is always fun. Oh, not quite. That's right. I didn't get him. I tried. Oh my goodness. A lot of shocks. One weird thing about this track is sometimes when you're drifting at the end there, when you're going off that glider, you just like completely miss all the items. I don't know why that happens. Like, your hitbox just contorts in such a way that you just completely, like, you just thread that needle through everything and get nothing. But, yeah, that's just a banger of a track. That's going. That's an easy... Wait a second. Dude, this is missing Sunshine. It's not here. I didn't put it on the list yet. Oh, it's down here for some reason. Okay, well that gets S tier. Yeah, this tier list in particular is like kind of weird for some reason. It just doesn't have everything listed. Like the last two cups were swapped, and then it didn't have the options for the individual or for the different variations of Animal Crossing, which for me rank differently from each other. I don't think Animal Crossing as a whole ranks the same, but we'll get to that later. So Dolphin Shoals is an interesting track for me too, because it's a cool concept, and obviously the music. We don't need to talk about the music because I think it's been set to death. This is like the Mario Kart song. So like, yeah, this is obviously meant to be like a mainly underwater track. I just think it doesn't really do it that well. I think just the layout just makes it so awkward. Like, things don't always work the way you want them to when you're driving this. Like, getting the chaining tricks on that eel is cool, but again, also very inconsistent. I just feel like this track lacks consistency across the board with a lot of things. Like, there are cool parts, there are really bad parts, there are janky parts, there are boring parts. It's hard to... No, it's just all over the place. I also feel like it's really hard to just maintain a lead on this, because there's always something getting in the way. Like, I just feel like there are a lot of, like, item spam is just super common here for some reason. I'm not sure why. I also have, like, no coins. It sucks. Whoops. I was not paying close enough attention. Okay, I can probably beat him to the line. Okay, no, he's way faster than me. What the hell? Yeah. Dolphin Shells get C tier for me. It's just, it's just not, it's not really fun to play. I don't think it's a bad, I don't think it's like objectively a bad track. I just think it's, it could have been better. Gets ruined by jank and inconsistent, like, pacing. But the fact that we're this far and that's our first C tier is a good sign. Now, Electrodome. Electrodome is... Sorry, not Electrodome, Electrodrome. It's not a dome. Even though there are a lot of domes in this track. I think Luigi needs to get out of the freaking way. I can't see what he has. How did I not hit him? This is another track where it feels like the shortcut at the end isn't, like, totally free. Because it's very easy to get hit out before that, or to get your mushroom stolen. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten mushroom stolen on that. I'm trying to think about what position, or what spot I want to put this in. That's not the direction I wanted to throw that. I should have hit that banana. Yeah, I think this track has a lot going for it, though. I think the fact that we're playing against CPUs might also dampen some of my picks because of shit like that. But, you know, this is the easiest way to get through all the tracks so we can rank them, so... Yeah, so Electrodrome for me is a cool track. I just think it's a little too item spammy, case in point. Like, it just feels so easy to get hit out at the end. Like, I just got, like... I've had so many experiences where I'm, like, close behind, or I'm, like, close... Somebody's, like, close behind me, and I'm in first, and then... You know, they just, like, chain a bunch of items and I die. But it's still a good track regardless of that. I'm gonna say that goes in A tier. Hold on, I missed the... I have to remember to do this first, and then... I really need another monitor, but Electrodrome is A tier for me. I'll give that a high A tier. Does not quite reach S tier, because of some of the shortcomings mentioned, but regardless of that, that's a fun track. Mount Wario. mean, this is just a banger of a track too. You would think this track would have like that same consistency problem, just because of how dynamic it is, but for some reason, where Dolphin Shoals just like completely floundered with that, Mount Wario just gets it totally right. Like here, it feels like if I mess up, it's because I did something wrong, whereas in Dolphin Shoals, it feels like, oh, I just, you know, just the track. Can't do anything about that. But here, if I die, it's because of something I did, you know. Of course, there's the tree section, which definitely a lot of people have qualms with. Okay, that felt targeted. You know, if I didn't know any better, I'd think I was playing online. So the tree section, this is kind of a bad example because I'm small, but I think anybody who doesn't know how to do that is just kind of a skill issue. Like, even I mess up on it sometimes. Okay, this is just not fair. I can't hold on to anything right now. Okay, good. I needed that to be in front, so I don't lose this. But yeah, this track just gets so much right. Like, it's got the fun drivability. It's got the spectacle. The part at the end isn't quite a cannon glider. Like, you can get pretty far ahead with it, but you're not gonna blast so far that people are just gonna pull shocks and stuff and completely kill your race. So you can, you know, so that's not like a huge detriment. It definitely helps this track a lot. Because they could have easily put a cannon glider there, but they chose not to, which definitely helped this track. For sure. But yeah, that's just a good track, dude. I don't think I'd quite put it over Sunshine, but definitely... Actually, I don't know. Would I put it over Sunshine? We might have to... Would I put this over Sunshine? Probably, I think I want to say objectively I would, but personally, I think I like Sunshine more. I'm willing to admit that Mount Wario is objectively the better track, but I personally preferred Sunshine. So that's gonna be my final stance on that. Cloud Top Cruise. Whoops. Totally squandered that. Oh, we're not. Yeah, not, I mean, if you couldn't tell by the tone of my voice, I'm not thrilled to play this track. Nor am I ever thrilled to play it. I don't think every track with a cannon glider is, like, immediately at a disadvantage, but it definitely doesn't help a lot of tracks. Like, there's a lot of tracks where it just feels unnecessary. I mean, here it kind of fits the theme because of, like, the boat and everything, but, like... Like, getting the super bounces is cool, but, again, also feels inconsistent. And it's also way too easy to get hit out beforehand, so you just can't do it. It feels like I think the main problem I have with this track is it's just too hard to stay ahead. Obviously, I'm playing against CPU, so that's not an issue, but... But, like, this is... The way I'm... Like, Right now, it's not really a good example of, like, this race is not a good example of the issues I have with this track and why I am not a fan of it. But, like, when I play this track online, it's always a nightmare. Lag trails are constantly a problem. Item spam is utterly insane. It feels like it's impossible not to pull shock here. Like, we again have Cannon Glider to thank for that. I feel like removing the Cannon Glider alone would probably help this track a lot. But again, I understand, like, yeah, it makes sense because they're like on the airship, so. But yeah. Cloud Top Cruise, that's a stinker. Should I call this F tier? Like, I want to call this F tier because it goes. Yeah, we'll change this to F tier because these are the tracks that I genuinely do not like. I have a very strong. I also forgot to change the thing again. Yeah, this is another track that I am not super happy to be playing whenever it comes up. So, you go in F tier. I might change the color too. Maybe we should, although maybe we want to make a different tier for. Let's just keep it the way it was. That's fine. I think it also reflects the fact that I don't think any of the tracks in this game are, like, poorly designed or anything like that. I think every track in this game is good to some degree. You know, for one reason or another. Like, there are tracks that I don't like playing. Yeah, but I don't think there's any bad. I don't think there's like any bad tracks. I don't. Although that was not a good time to say that. Because this one might be down there. Like, okay, so that part is really awkward. Me falling off there was a skill issue for sure. I usually don't fall off there, but, you know, low traction maps, that's another thing that'll come up frequently. Low traction maps, I'm also biased against, just because the controls in this game feel so precise and tight. Like, it just feels, this game just feels good to control, and low traction maps make this game abysmal to control. Because you're just sliding all over the place, and it feels like the amount that you're turning is not properly reflected in how your cart actually moves. Like that, like what was that? Why did I lose my drift there? Also, this shortcut, how do you even do that shortcut? I feel like I've taken it with mushrooms, with bullet bills, with stars. Doesn't matter. It just always, you just always miss every time. Just getting all these boos. I think there's like fun parts. Actually, no, I can't even say that. Because like the beginning is boring, the sandy part's annoying, the end part is really annoying. I would say Okay, I said earlier I don't think there's any objectively bad tracks in this game. I think this is an objectively bad track. This entire track is just a slog. It's just not fun to drive on. It's really frustrating when you get stuck behind because it doesn't feel like there's any way to pull ahead. So yeah, that's an easy bottom tier for me. I still want to put F tier in here somewhere just because I feel like, because like if I had an F tier, I would put this in F tier. D tier doesn't feel good enough. So I think we're gonna add F tier. Because that was in there before and then I took it out because I was like, oh, nice to have like an even split, but no, we're adding F tier. Maybe you get to go in there. Yeah, so I think, yeah, F tier will be reserved for like the worst of the worst. So like most tracks are going to end up above F, well obviously, but like most tracks I'm not fond of will end up above F tier. But tracks like this one, yeah, that's F tier for sure. That is just a bad track. I don't know many people who enjoy that track. I'm not saying much here just because I'm letting the music speak for itself. I think, you know, obviously this song is a banger, and the track itself is fun too. Of course, I feel comfortable saying I do enjoy this track quite a lot. I think this definitely earns the title of Bowser Castle for this game. And I think this is one of the better iterations of it, too. As far as Bowser Castles go, this one's pretty solid. Is it the best? Probably not, but I'd say it's one of the better ones. Like I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be, okay. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a callback. Big Bowser statue. That's probably a callback to Mario Kart Wii. Which, you know, everybody loves that game, so of course they're gonna do it. React to those. But yeah, this track is fun to drive. Definitely a skill check for a lot of people, including me. But I'm not going to let the fact that I'm bad at it get in the way of how I would rank it. I wouldn't even call myself bad at this track. I think I'm just not consistent with it. And I'm willing to accept that that's entirely on me. I don't think it's the track's fault. I think I just need to learn cycles and stuff. Yeah, that's a good one, though. That is a solid track. Cannot be too upset about that one. I think I'm going to make a few adjustments here. I don't think Mario Kart Stadium deserves to be in B tier. I think that should go down. I think this should also be C tier. That can stay in B tier. I feel comfortable with that. I feel pretty comfortable with where I put all these, too. Dolphin Shoals. I'm gonna put that D tier as well. Is it better than Cloud Top? I don't know. That's a tough one. I feel like these two, I feel pretty equal about, honestly. I guess Cloud Top, I guess I would maybe put Cloud Top ahead because it's a little more consistent, but I'm not really fond of either of them. Yeah, I feel all right. I feel better about this list now that we have an F tier. I think that was necessary. I thought we could do it without it, but no, that's definitely needed. And Bowser Castle, I'm gonna put that above Toad Harbor, but not above Thwomp Ruins. I think I would like Thwomp Ruins a little bit more, and that's probably just for subjective reasons. Not because I think it's the better track. Because I know it's probably not. It's probably not objectively the better track, but that's not what we're doing here. This is my tier list. I played the game for 2 years. I get to determine where the tracks go. Alright. Rainbow Road. If I could describe this track in one word, I would say underwhelming. Compared to other Rainbow Roads, it just doesn't feel the same. It's just not there. Like, obviously it fits the theme of the game, but I don't know. I just don't think this really fits Rainbow Road, the theming, very much. Theming aside, like, even ignoring the theming, the track itself is just really kind of mid. Just underwhelming. There's not really much going on. Like, it's not particularly difficult. It's not, like, super memorable either. Also, this turn, like, getting, like, on lap 1, like, taking this turn, it's just, like, super easy to get bumped around and just, like, lose your line and fly off. I really needed that. That was bad. How was Baby Daisy right behind me? I probably can't take this now. I kind of have to, though. I was too close to the edge. I hope that's going after her. What? Hello? That was a mushroom, right? Not going crazy? Like, there was definitely a mushroom behind that. Maybe there was also a, there must have also been another one, or a banana behind it, that I couldn't see. Also, this, like, I know this isn't about 200cc, but playing this track on 200cc is a fucking nightmare. Oh my god, this track is impossible on 200cc. Like, mostly that first part, and the last turn, too. Like, those are just... oh god. Yeah, Rainbow Road, pretty underwhelming, not very special. I don't think it's worse than Mario Kart Stadium, but it's still low C tier, probably. Alright, so that is the last of the base game tracks. Or I guess you would call them the Nitro tracks. And now we get to the retro courses. We are not even close to halfway through this, done with this. I'm trying to keep this, like, moving along as much as possible, which is why I was questioning whether or not I want to talk about the tracks while I'm playing them, and I decided, yeah, no, I should do that. Because if I play the tracks and then also spend like 2-3 minutes talking about them afterwards, this is gonna take like hours. This is another track that feels pretty inoffensive to me, but also is not anything special. Like, personally, I don't really have any issues with this track. I don't think there's anything really wrong with it. It's just another one of those, you know, it's just another track in the game. I don't really feel strongly either way about it. Being able to, like, chain tricks off of the moles is cool. I don't know if that was a thing in the original. It might have been. Nice thing about playing CPUs is that you actually can, like, slow down a little bit there to get items if you're in first, because you're just so far ahead of this map. I didn't mean to throw that forward. We're still fine. We're still fine. It's not gonna hit anybody. That's fine. Yeah, so Moo Moo Meadows. I don't think it deserves C tier. I don't think so. Yeah, I think it's a fine track. It's not one of the best, but it's also not like a bad track. I think it's better than Rainbow Road, honestly. I enjoy that track more than Rainbow Road, if I'm being totally honest. So, above Rainbow Road, it will go. Firmly within the B tier. Probably won't be too high B tier. It'll probably stay towards the back, but it just doesn't. I just don't feel right calling it a C tier track. Now this track is also saying also as if I'm continuing the conversation I was having earlier, but I'm not. This is a good track. I like this one. This one I feel like I also have some bias towards, for whatever reason. It's like this is one of the rare GBA/SNES tracks that's actually fun to drive. As long as you don't suck. Not a huge fan of the straightaway at the end. That definitely causes some problems, but at the end of the day, if you play the track right, I think it's acceptable. Getting to chain tricks, or not tricks, drifts there at the end is cool. I feel like it's just, like I think a lot of what makes this track fun is that it's like easy to chain a bunch of tricks together. Or not tricks, drifts. It's easy to chain a lot of drifts together to keep your speed going. So even though this is seen as more of a bagging track, I feel like it is possible to run it. And that's what I end up doing a lot of the times, and I usually do pretty well on it because of that. Because I'm not the greatest with bagging, so I don't like bagging on bagging tracks for that reason, but anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one... I think this one goes top of A tier, honestly. I don't know. I think I do like it better than all these other ones. We have a lot of A-tier tracks so far. I mean, it just goes to show the quality of tracks in this game. It's hard to call most of these tracks bad. But Cheap Cheap Beach, this is one I have to think about a little bit, because I don't feel strongly either way about it. Again, the metric I'm going by for a lot of these is, do I think it's better than Mario Kart Stadium? And I would say yes, obviously. I think this is definitely better than Mario Kart Stadium. That's like our starting point for figuring out the ranking for tracks. Does he have triple reds? Is that what I'm hearing? Or no, it's triple nanos. Oh no, that's triple greens. That's not the direction I wanted that to go. I like this track. I feel like it's kind of hit or miss. It depends on how the race is going. I mean, it obviously depends on how well I drive it, but like, it feels like sometimes I just get stuck behind and there's nothing I can do. Like, no matter what happens, no matter how hard I try to get ahead, like, I just get hit by so many different things and I can't do it. Obviously, playing against CPUs, that's not an issue, but... Oh, you don't actually, like, get hit there. That's interesting. Thought I would spin out for that. Oh my god, so many people dodged that? That's insane. Hopefully none of them had shock. Yeah, I think this is a good track. I feel like sometimes it's hard to either break away or catch up. Like, this track is just hard to run on. It just feels difficult and inconsistent to, like, run, I guess. So, but I still like it. It's better than Mario Kart Stadium. Do I think it's better than Rainbow Road? Yeah. I don't think it's better than Moo Moo Meadows. The question is this C tier or B tier? I think I put this B tier. Yeah, I feel good with that. I feel comfortable putting that B tier. It's definitely going to be a low B tier, but it doesn't feel right putting it in C. I just think it's... Now, this track is definitely not B tier. I can tell you that. Also, I guess it has to be taken into consideration that I'm not an inward player. So, obviously I'm not going to like this track, but... Again, this is my tier list, so... We're setting, or we are taking personal opinion into consideration. Having a Wrangling first would be nice, but I'm probably not going to be able to keep it because I'm going to get shocked or something. This is another one of those tracks where it just feels impossible to catch up on. Like, it feels like you can pull ahead, or it feels like you can catch up, but it doesn't feel like you can ever pull ahead. mean, like, weaving in between the trucks here is cool. But I don't think this... but also, at the same time, I don't think this track is as bad as people say it is. I mean, compared to the original Toad Turnpike, oh yeah, definitely. There's no question. That one's so much better, but... I mean, they at least, like, attempted to, you know, give it the modern Mario Kart treatment, and I think they did a decent job with that. I feel like it just loses a lot of its aura, though. Also, I don't know how I went a whole lap without getting hit there, but... So yeah, Toad's Turnpike. It's definitely worse than Mario Circuit. And I don't think it's... honestly... do I think it's worse than Cloud Top Cruise? Toad's Turnpike. I'm gonna say no. I don't think it's worse than Cloud Top Cruise. I'm trying really hard to put out of my mind what people are going to think about this and just go by what I personally feel like. Like, I know that that's probably going to be controversial, that I think that that's better than Cloud Top, but... nah, I don't feel good about that. It goes below. I think is Dolphin Shoals worse? No, it's got to be bottom D tier. It just doesn't feel right putting that track above them. That's why I sat on it for so long. I'm like, that's probably why I sat on it for so long, because it just didn't feel right to me to put it that high up. But now it is firmly where it belongs. Here's another interesting one. A lot of people don't like this track. Obviously, because it is a bagger. There's no question there. That it's definitely easier to bag on this track because of the copious amount of mushroom shortcuts. But at the same time, I mean, I like the track itself. I feel like it just gets held back by the fact that there are so many shroom cuts. It is also a low traction map, which is not... I'm not thrilled about. I think I also have a lot of personal bias towards this track. I don't think... my gameplay is not reflecting that, but... I mean, I like this track. I don't know. I don't think it's as egregious as people think it is. Like, yeah, it's definitely not the best track of the game. It sucks that it's a bagger, but, like... that's not the direction I threw that. What is going on? I just bought this controller recently, too. Like, it should not be having problems. I think maybe I'm just getting the timing wrong. I will say, it is really difficult to keep coins on this track. I feel like it is really easy to get hit out of just like everything on this. Like, yeah, I think a lot of the reason people don't like this track is just because it's a bagger. But I mean, it's fun to drive. Oh, nice red skip. I don't know, I just don't hate this track as much as everybody else does. Kind of hard to, like, hate on it like everyone else, but, you know, what can I say? I just think it's fine. I don't think it's as egregious as everybody says it is. I'm thinking, I think I'll put it low. I think I'll put it there. Low B tier feels good. I'm good with that. Oh boy, DP3. Now, if you want to talk about annoying baggers, that's not the direction I threw. What is happening? Why are my items not going backwards? I think I'm just flicking the stick too fast. Maybe Luigi needs to calm down. What is he doing so close to me? Yeah, this map also loses points for me for low traction. I don't think it's as bad as other low traction maps, but definitely, definitely annoying still. Thank you, whoever shocked. Like the section there coming out of the water, and then like the last few turns are annoying with the low traction. Taking that top there, I didn't see the mushrooms. But yeah, DP3. Not a fan. Not a fan. I'm gonna say low C tier, maybe. Do I like it more than that? Yes. I would say, do I think Water Park is better though? Kinda. I don't know. Water Park feels I mean, I think drivability kind of beats Water Park in that regard. I think it wins out. Drivable just because it's like more drivable. Oh boy, Royal Wasteway, everyone's favorite track. I should say KU's favorite track. Because I don't think I need to tell the story. I think everybody knows by this point. I can say right off the bat though that this will rank fairly high from me. This is another track that also could have potentially been ruined by a cannon glider, but they chose not to do that. Like, yeah, the original didn't have the cannon, but... Oh, god, please tell me I can make it over this before I get hit. Yeah, we're good. Second time I had to skip that cut. Somebody just had to throw a red. Another one? This is my comeuppance for what happened. My reckoning has come. Obviously this time it's not as bad because I'm playing CPUs and I'm so far ahead, but this is what I get. The irony is palpable with that. Yeah, that's a fun one to drive. For sure. I think I'm gonna put this one. I think right there. It's a good spot. Yeah, let's do that. I feel good with that decision. That feels right to me. Alright, what's next after this? Oh, DK Jungle. This is another interesting one. I think this one for me is either going to be A or B. No, I don't want to say. No, I wouldn't say. No, this is probably going to be A tier. I think there's just a few things holding it back from being an S tier track for me, but it's still very good regardless. Did I not get the double set there? Guess I didn't. Yeah, this one's fun. It's got cool super bounces. Or I guess a super bounce. I feel like it has a good coin spread too. That's another thing I didn't talk about. Another factor that also not nearly as much as other factors do, but that's also something that plays into how good a track is for me, is coin placement. I feel like this track has pretty good... Actually, I think as far as coin placement goes, this track might be one of the best. I feel like there's plenty of coins to pick up. They're spaced out pretty evenly. I think maybe at the beginning it's a little rough, but once you get like to the bridge here, it's pretty easy to stock up on coins. Yeah, this is another one of those tracks that is good for me just because it's just fun to drive. I will say, the ending here can be really annoying sometimes, but that's still not enough for me to place it anything below A tier. I think that's going to be high A. I don't think it quite reaches S tier for me, but it's very close. I will say it is very close. Now that I'm looking at Shy Guy Falls, do I really think that deserves to be S tier? I mean, I like the track. It's a tough decision on that one, honestly. You know what? Yeah. I think I'm gonna move Shy Guy Falls to A tier. And I think I'm gonna move DK Jungle up to S tier, honestly. I feel comfortable with that, yeah. It might even be above Mount Wario. Yeah, actually, I would put it above Mount Wario. Yeah. Alright. So... Alright, that's my final stance on DK Jungle. I will leave it at that. Wario Stadium. Now that I know how to drive this track, this is a good one too. I mean, I think it was still a good one even before that, but now it's even more fun. This is another track that's really fun to drive and gets a lot of praise for that reason alone. I will say this trick here, getting the drifts here can feel inconsistent at times. There, I got it. But it feels like I do the same thing every time, and sometimes it just doesn't work. But that, again, that's probably just a skill issue. Oops. Yeah, this is a pretty good one. Although I think it is going to rank. I think it's going to lose some points for me just from the fact that everybody else is way too good at it. So because of that, it's just like impossible to do well on sometimes. Also, I know I'm not playing very smart, but I mean, it doesn't really matter with CPUs. Yeah, this is another track that would also suffer the straightaway problem were it not for them, you know, changing things up with how the straightaways function. That time I messed it up too. Like, I don't know how I did it so well the first time, but like the last two times I just couldn't. Oh, that was weird. That was... I expected to get a drift there, and now I'm gonna get hit by this, and maybe Luigi's gonna win. That's really embarrassing, honestly. Oh, never mind. They're gonna win because they had a mushroom. And then I'm gonna get 4th place because I got stuck on the wall. But no, I do enjoy that track. Regardless of what happened at the end, that was my fault. That doesn't reflect how I feel about the track or my skill level on it. I think I'm gonna say for Wario Stadium, I think I'm gonna put it... Do I like it more than Electrodrome? I think I'm gonna put Electrodrome above Mario Circuit. It feels better. Do I like Mario Circuit more than Twisted Mansion, though? Yeah, I think so. Wario Stadium and Mario Circuit are kind of close for me. I think Wario Stadium beats it out, though. I'm gonna go with that. Oh boy. This track is not going to do well. I can tell you that right now. I'm also going to try to speed this up a little bit because I noticed now that we're almost 2 hours in and we're not even halfway through. Well, I guess it's more like an hour and a half, but still. Yeah, this track also loses points for slippery physics, or low traction. It's the proper term for it. Also for having a shortcut that is slower than the main route. I almost hit banana first. Where the hell did you come from? Yeah, I feel like this track would be a lot better if it didn't have the if it didn't have low traction. Obviously, that's kind of unavoidable with with the theme, but still suffers because of it. So, Sherbert Land. I think Sherbert Land goes here. Do I really think DP3 is worse than Mario Kart Stadium? Yeah, I do. That's going to be a very controversial opinion, I know for a fact, but it just is. Anyway, moving on. So Music Park is another interesting one. And what happened right there is also something. I'm glad it happened because otherwise I probably would have forgotten about it. Just completely missing that first set. Like, why that happens, I don't know. Also, that super bounce is like really inconsistent as well. Also, the bouncing notes make this part really difficult, more difficult than it should be. I feel like, I don't know if like cart selection also would play a factor in how I would rank these tracks. I don't think it would. I didn't get the boost there. Actually, I probably should have let the red hit me. I don't know if it's better to get hit by a red or a blue. Might not matter. I think this track can be fun to drive, but it also just feels really janky and inconsistent at times. The fact that you can just take that shortcut without a mushroom is kind of dumb. Like, you're obviously supposed to have a mushroom to take that, but, like, you just don't need one. They intended for you to have a mushroom for that, but... So, Music Park, I think I'm feeling for this one. I think I'm gonna put it there. We have an ad break coming up, so I'm gonna take this as a normal break, and I gotta use the bathroom anyway, so I will let the ads play, and I'll be right back. Let us continue. Yoshi Valley. This is also, right off the bat, this one's also a fun one to drive. But, a lot of the, it's just like also really easy to bag on too. And I think that kind of ruins a lot of it. I hope he fell off. No, he didn't. Oh no, I'm getting punished for it. How did he avoid that? Are you serious? This baby Luigi is on crack. Yeah, I feel like this is a fun track that gets ruined by the fact that it's easy to bag on. Wow, that was really close. It was hard to see, but I like barely avoided falling off there. Trying so hard to keep everybody at bay, but we're just all getting mushrooms and shit and catching back up. Ain't even hit them with the bomb either. Yes, they hit the egg. Good. Another one, really? That's another thing, is blue shells feel kind of common on this track. Yeah. Yeah, I do like that track though. I can't deny. I think I'm gonna put this one. Do I like Music Park more, or do I like this more? I think, honestly, I think I like this more than Music Park. I do. Ooh, this is a good one too. I do enjoy this one. It's fun to drive. It requires skill. It's got a lot of cool mechanics. The music is really good too. I mean, you could say that about every track in this game, but of course there are some tracks I like more than others, or, you know, some songs I like more than others, I should say. Cooking there. Oh, cool. Perfect timing. I don't know if you can actually, like, trick off the edge of that if you hit it right. I was hoping that would skip. I know you're supposed to, like, swerve between that, but it's just so much easier to go straight and really barely loses any time anyway, I feel like. So, that's another good one. I'm gonna put that one... I think I'm gonna put that... I don't know, is it quite S tier? I think it's a really high A tier, but I don't think it's S tier. I feel confident with that. That feels good to me. There's a set of tracks I'm looking at right now that I could already know what I want to rank them without even having to play them. But we will get to them. They will have their time. Trying to get those coins is really hard. Again, probably just a skill issue, but... This one can be fun to drive, but also annoying to drive. Especially when I drift the wrong way. Wow. That would have been terrible. I was gonna say, they gotta just run headfirst into that, right? Like, they're not gonna try to go around it. Blue shell. Alright, that works. I'll take that. That's probably about the best place I could have gotten shocked, honestly. Yeah, I don't have like too much to say about that track, honestly, but I liked it in 7. I like it here. Do I think it's A tier though? Not really. There. Also, Mario... No, I don't, no, I'm not going to play Mario Circuit, honestly. Oh, this one's not going to do well for me either. I can tell you that right now. I do not like this track. What problems do I have with this track? It just feels way too narrow. It's just a bump fest. It's like playing bumper cars. Like it's so hard to like keep any good lines because if anybody's even remotely close to you, they can just tap you and then you're just dead. And the like the fact that like the track falling away is cool in concept, but in practice it just opens up so many choke points where you just can't avoid getting hit by something, where it's very easy to get hit by something. I feel like it is fun to drive if you're able to run it like this, but not often do I get to do that. I don't think it's quite as bad as I would have put it, like, had I done this tier list a few months ago, because I've definitely gotten better at it. And a lot of the problems I saw with this track, I've sort of... I don't know, how would I say it? I've learned to... I don't want to say, like, learn to accept it, but I've come to terms with it, I guess. That's not really... That's kind of just saying the same thing, isn't it? But I do enjoy this track a little bit more than I used to. So, I don't think it's quite as bad as I once thought, but still not a great track, honestly. I think I'm gonna put this one. I think Water Park needs to be lower. I think that deserves to be D tier. Looking at this again, and I think Rumble Volcano goes above it. Actually, Water Park. No, I think Water Park can stay there. Would I choose Grumble Volcano over Water Park? Honestly, I'm like thinking about this. Like, if I saw this come up in Worldwide and these two were options, which one would I pick? And honestly, I think think I would pick Water Park. I think that's just the truth. That's, yeah. That's another track that just suffers from like being janky and weird. This one, I also have a lot of personal bias towards. Because A, so retro, and B, I feel like I historically do really well on this track, regardless of what place I'm in. Like, even if I start in like a middle spot or close to a top spot, it doesn't even have to be a bottom spot. I feel like I do well on this track. And it's fun to drive. And they definitely improved it over the N64 version where you literally cannot fall off. Kind of hard to argue that. Like it looks like a simple track, but it's fun to drive. Especially when you get ahead on this track, like you can run with it. It's crazy. And that's usually what I end up doing is I'm able to pull ahead after the first section, and then I'm good enough at driving this track to... I guess that is because it is relatively simple. It doesn't really require a lot of... it doesn't require that much skill. It's just, as long as you're good at driving, you can do well, but that doesn't change the fact that I like it. Or that I think it's a good course. So... that one, do I feel comfortable putting that in S tier, though? Not really. There's a lot of A tier tracks. I say that because that one also gets A tier for me. But do I think it's better than... I feel like Wario Stadium's a little bit low. I think I would probably pick it over Electrodrome, honestly. That feels better. I feel like TikTok Clock is high up for like more subjective reasons, but also I think that should be lower. Probably, I think that's better for TikTok. Yeah. Yeah. I'm good with that. Oh man, my throat's getting dry. Yoshi Circuit. I like this one. Again, yes, this is a bagger. I know, but this is another one of those baggers that if you know how to run it, you can run it. Getting trailed out at the beginning by a CPU is so embarrassing. There's just like a lot of little things you can do on this track. Like that. And this. That make it fun. And I'm going to share a little bit of secret MC knowledge with you guys. Something all those other Mario Kart players wouldn't tell you about. But I don't like to gatekeep information like that. I think the truth deserves to be heard. Did you guys know, if you look at the minimap, okay, look at it real closely, doesn't it kind of look like a Yoshi? It's there, right? You can see it. I mean, I can see it. I don't know about you guys, but I can definitely see it. Yeah, this is a fun track though, for sure. Even if you run, like, I think a lot of the reason people don't like this track is because they bag on it. But I think this track is a lot more fun as a runner than it is as a bagger, for sure. I mean, personally, I enjoy running more than bagging. I think most people do. But there's just so many, like, fun little cuts like that you can do. I've never learned how to do the Nisk either, but, you know, if I did know how to do that, I'm sure that would also just make it that much better. So, Yoshi Circuit, I'm going to put that one in S tier. I really hope that, like, I follow some of the I follow a lot of the, like, the better local players. Oh man, we're here already? I thought we had more time, but yeah, we are on the DLC tracks now. I can't wait for them to see this tier list. I hope they see. I hope at least some of them see this tier list, because I know I'm gonna get so much shit for it, but I don't care. I've probably been playing this game longer than a lot of them, so I get seniority. Could you imagine if there were people that weren't even alive when this game came out that, like, play it competitively now? We're talking, like, Excitebike, or Hylich. Excitebike is the best map in the game if you suck at this game. You can tell how good a person is at this game by whether or not they like Excitebike. And I am good at this game, so I do not like Excitebike. Another fun Emcy. Oh, I'm like struggling to talk today. Something under my tongue is really bothering me. Because I went to the dentist yesterday and they, like, jabbed at every possible point they could. Now my mouth just hurts. But another fun Emcy fact that a lot of people don't know is on the original Wii U version of this game, I had a top 20 time. So I was on, like, the leaderboard that you would see for time trials in this game. I was at the very bottom, but I should get a new tongue. I could just borrow yours. That sounds good to me. But yeah, like, in theory, this track is cool because it's, like, dynamic in the fact, or in the sense that every, like, it changes all the ramps and stuff. Okay. Like, yeah, that's cool, but it suffers the straightaway problem where you just drive forward, so it's super easy to get hit by stuff, so yeah, that's gonna be... It's definitely still better than Bone Dry Dunes, but that's gonna be an F tier for me. I think Toad's Turnpike, yeah, I'm gonna put that one there too. That's also gonna be an F tier. And then I'm good with that. Anyway, Lich, how are you doing on this wonderful Friday evening? I'm sitting here ranking Mario Kart tracks. So, you know, living the dream. But I'm also tired, but that is because I worked out today. So, you know, I have, like, a valid reason to be tired, and I'm not just lazy. Nice, we got it. I wanted to show that off, because that is a cool part of this track. I would say I like this track. I think this is another track that's also hard to catch up on, and maybe that's, again, probably a skill issue. I ate cake. I was gonna say I can't remember the last time I had cake, but I was visiting family last weekend, and they got me a cake for graduation. It was good. But now that I'm dieting and exercising, I can't just eat cake whenever I want. Wow, I almost took that, like, really tight. But, oh, shock dodge. Calculated. I just realized I have a Shroom first. I shouldn't have run that backwards, but it's okay. I mean, surely they're not gonna throw reds at me, right? But yeah, this is a fun track to drive on, of course. You know, I think this is a good one. I hear a lot of people say they don't like this track, and I think I can understand why. 'Cause yeah, it is kind of weird, but I don't have enough. Yeah, you kind of, I think you like need 10 coins there to make that. It was still worth a shot, but I'm tanking all of these red shells just for the potential to do something cool, and it's not even gonna happen. So, fine, whatever. I was gonna try to dodge board with it, but nobody threw one. Whatever. That's a fun track. So, I'm gonna go ahead and put that one. I'd say it's probably A tier. I think I'm gonna put this one right here. It's better than Mario Circuit, but I think I like Tick-Tock Clock just a little bit more. Or do I? Nah. I think Dragon Driftway beats it out. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah, Music Park for me, it's just not that good. I mean, well, that's not fair to say that. I still think it's a good track. I just don't think it's as good as a lot of other people think it is. Also, this is from the perspective of somebody who plays competitive, so I'm also taking into account, like, how viable it is as a competitive track, which a lot of these tracks are not. That being said, I still feel like a lot of these are getting higher ranked than they really should be, but... like, I can appreciate the aesthetic of it, but it just it doesn't feel as good to drive as a lot of other tracks do, so that's why it didn't rank as high. But Mute City, this track, when you get going on this track, like, man, this track is fun. Oh, that's not the direction I wanted to drift. You got married on this track? I didn't know Mute City held weddings. They're probably not very good because there's a lot of people driving by. Also, the fact that you can hit the shortcut here without a mushroom is cool. I'm not good enough to do that, but, you know, you can. If you are. I just am not. Oh man, I really tried. Okay, well, didn't matter anyway. What did I just hit there? Was there a banana there that I just failed to see? This is the track Falco's from? Yep. I was hoping somebody would leave a mushroom in front of the cut. I didn't leave it. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's just a good one. I think the floaty physics do get annoying at times, but I will give that one an S tier. Do I want to put it below Mount Wario though? No, I don't. I want to put it above. Do I think Yoshi Circuit is that good that it's better? Do I think it's better than Mute City? I kind of do, yeah. Not gonna lie. Kind of do. Potato conditions? That sounds good. It's making me hungry. That reminds me that I have not eaten anything since, like, breakfast, so I am, like, starving right now. But I have to make this tier list. I am morally obligated to make this tier list. Even though nobody's going to care about it, but, you know, the #1 Tanuki player in North America should have a tier list. So... This is another track I have mixed opinions on, because I think it can be fun, but sometimes it just feels kind of weird. I think the big point of contention for me is the beginning, that huge dip. It just makes it like impossible. Like, it's impossible to play around that in any capacity. Like, you are going in totally blind here. You can't see anything. So if somebody wants to hit you with something, they can. And that gets really annoying. Also, the fact that a lot of parts on this track are really narrow, so it's just easy to get bumped around. I don't know how the computers are able to keep up with me so easily. I guess I'm not playing as optimally as I could be. Yeah, I feel like playing with bots does not accurately reflect how I actually feel about some of these tracks, just because playing them against bots and playing them online are a totally different story. And this is one of those tracks where playing against bots is just like, this track is whatever, but then playing it online is frustrating as hell. That was intentional, by the way. I know I'm bad at the game, but not that bad. I did see that banana from a mile away. How do I feel about this one? Let's see. I don't know, do I think I'm reaching the point here where I want to put it. Do I think it's better than Music Park? Music Park is kind of the breaking point here for me. Do I think it's better than that? Yeah, I kind of do. Kind of do. Music Park just does not make the cut for that. There are a lot of things I could say about this track right off the bat. First of all, it kind of ruined the presentation just overall from Mario Kart 7 with this one. Like, you're not even in space, for one thing, which, like, is the staple of, like, almost every Rainbow Road. The music, they kind of botched, too. Like, yeah, they gave it the Mario Kart 8 treatment, like they did with like, their version of Rainbow Road, but it's just, like, the original one is just so good. It's hard to beat it. And Mario Kart 7, like, Mario Kart 7 stayed faithful to the original composition. But outside of the music, this track is not that fun. A lot of choke points, very easy to get bumped off, or just bumped around in general. Hard to stay ahead, just item spam. If you can get going on this track, you can pull away, but it's not easy. And of course, the inconsistency with the wavy terrain. It's another thing. How many freaking red shells are you guys getting? Sure wish I could see. That is one nice thing about playing with computers, is that they always just go in the middle of the track, so you can just put anything there and they'll hit it. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, my throat is getting sore. I hope I can get through this all in one day. But, yeah, Rainbow Road, that one. I would say... probably not as low as I would have put it. This is kind of a tough one, actually. Not in which tier, or not in like what part it's going in. It's definitely going at a lower tier, but where would I put it compared to these other tracks? Do I really think it's better than like DP3? Kinda is. Is it though? Yeah, it is. I like it more. I do. It's the truth. My god, we are almost 2.5 hours in and I'm not even halfway done. I might have to split this up into 2 days because I don't know if I feel like doing this all in one day. I think this track also gets overhated, but at the same time, yeah, it is not that great. I just think people over-exaggerate how bad it is. I feel like I've seen this pop up more recently than when I first started playing this. Like, I don't know if the opinion around it just, like, suddenly shifted overnight or something, but... I will say, like, the low traction on this map doesn't feel as egregious as it does in others. It feels easier to handle around. But some of these shortcuts are just not well made. I can barely see there. I don't know how I made it through that. Nice red skip. No, I'm not skipping this blue, though. Unless I get a horn? No. Alright, thank you. People in the bottom spots are looking out for me, apparently. Yeah, I think this track is fine. I think that the shortcuts are just really poorly made. Like, they're so inconsistent. It feels like more of a gamble going for them than it does. Or it feels like it's more risk than it's worth a lot of the time. I think Ice Outpost, I think that one I will probably put B tier, and I think I'm going to put it here. Maybe even there. This is just going up and up. I guess I like this track more than I thought. I don't feel comfortable calling it an A tier track, but I had to really think about what I liked more. I have a feeling Mario Circuit's going to stay where it is, even though I kind of gassed it up a lot at the beginning. But I cannot in good conscience put it like that much higher, because I know it's not that good of a track, and all of my opinions on it are just like complete and total bias. Yeah, I think this one gets S tier. This is probably an S tier track for me. I don't think it's going to be a high, like a really high S tier, but I think it will be placed firmly in S tier. Oh wait, you have a red, you can pass me. Let's go an idiot, there's nobody there. Yeah, fun track to drive. Feels fair to play. Music is awesome. You know. Pretty much it's got pretty much everything you could want in a track. So. Tell me how I hit Nisk and they're like still right behind me. I feel like that doesn't feel right. I have gotten a lot more consistent with Nisk too, I will say. So I am proud of myself for that. So I used to not be, but you know, like knowing how to do Nisk on this track is really important if you want to run it. Because if you don't know how to Nisk, you will not be able to run it. You will just fall behind. Ah, yeah, I do that sometimes. Yeah, it's another good one, though. That one is going to go... Oof. This is the big question. I feel comfortable putting it there, but do I feel comfortable putting it above Sunshine? I think I do, yeah. Yeah, I think that's the best track we've played so far. I feel comfortable saying that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna play the, I'm gonna finish up the DLC and then probably... I mean, I can't do it tomorrow because I'm going somewhere, but... I can't even do it this weekend, honestly, but... I will come back and finish this up soon. I might not be able to make a video on it like I wanted to, but at least I got the actual list. At least I will have gotten the list done. Because, like, I've never made, like, a longer form YouTube video before. So if I wanted to do that, it would probably take a while. Especially considering how much footage I'm going to have to go through by the end of this. Vitamins second, what the hell? I think Shy Guy's ahead of me. Okay. Next. Cheeseland. This is another track that is a bagger, but is way more fun as a runner. I think, personally, I just don't... I feel like I've said that for every bagging track so far, and honestly, I don't think it's that. I think I just preferred... I think it's just because I prefer running. Which, I mean, who doesn't? Like, I paid to play the game. I'm gonna play the game. I want to just sit in the back and cycle items for 2 minutes. It's not fun. I think this track also gets a lot of, I think this track is also very overhated. I think it's fine. Yeah, it is a low, it has low traction, and that definitely does make it more annoying to play, but... I think I've also just gotten a lot better at this track than I used to be. So that helps. And honestly, the music alone just helps this track so much, too. Oh, shit. That's actually really bad. I can't slow down in time. I probably could have, but I didn't want to risk it. Please don't have a mushroom. Oh, he got hit by it. Cool. Yeah, the fact that you just lose here if you don't have a mushroom definitely sucks too, but like... it's hard to hate on this track too much because, I mean, it's a good track. It just gets held back by the fact that it is a bagger. And therefore is more annoying to play. But... I would not call it an F-tier track. That doesn't feel right to me. I like it. I like it more than DP3. It's better than Mario Kart Stadium. Would I say it's better than Rainbow Road? Maybe not. It's better than Sherbert Land for sure. But is it better than Rainbow Road? I'm gonna say no. I know I was talking. I know that's it's probably kind of surprising to see me put it there after I was talking it up so much, but I think that was just me trying to defend it because I knew where it was going to go. Kind of hard to do that. I think this is going to be another S tier for me. This one. This is just another, just such a well-designed track. The music is great. It's like one of the most atmospheric tracks in the game. It's got the vibes. It passes the vibe check. And of course, it's fun to drive. That's kind of how I'm ranking these tracks. I feel like it's just like how fun they are to drive. I think that's like the main factor that's going into my rankings for these. And of course, it has the Shy Guys. Any track that has the Shy Guys is immediately off to a good start. How is he keeping up with me? I don't understand how the CPUs are keeping up with me so well. Like, I'm able to destroy an online lobby sometimes. So, like, how are CPUs able to do this? Hello? That is not a thing that happens on this track. That was just weird. Just CPUs being CPUs. Alright, good. If I got anything less than first on that track, I would have been upset. But I'm gonna put that one there, maybe. I think I might put that above Sunshine, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna put that one above Sunshine. Not above Hyrule. Maybe? Do I like it more than Hyrule? That is a good question, actually. Do I like it more than Hyrule? I think I do. I think I do, actually. Also, I'm not showing my screen. Whoops. How many times have I made that mistake now? Do I like it more than Hyrule? Yeah, I do. I like it more. That's just a good track. Yeah, I gotta say, they really nailed it with the first DLC for this game. Or I guess the initial DLC, because I think this was part of like the second wave of that DLC for the original game. Yeah, I don't know if I have the energy to do all the Booster Course Pass tracks too on top of this right now. So I think unfortunately this will not make it into a video, at least before World releases. Come on. Yeah, I feel like I'm a pretty vocal Animal Crossing hater. And that's just because this track just doesn't feel good. It's not... Not only is it inconsistent because there are 4 different variations, but there's a lot of low traction shenanigans that go on here that just make it annoying. I will say, this is definitely the best variation, and this version of the track is at least tolerable. Dude, how do I keep hitting that? At least a Baby Daisy. Okay. Like, how is she right behind me? Hello? Like, driving my ass off, and she's still just right there. Yeah, I think I kind of already figured out where I wanted to put these. We're just gonna ignore that one, because... I guess where specifically they would go. Probably that. that. Oh, hold on. This is definitely not the worst track in the game. I don't think it's worse than VDD either. Or Excitebike. It is worse than Toad's Turnbike, honestly. It really is. Let me just make sure I'm good with the rest of these picks before I move on. Yeah, I think I'm pretty comfortable with that. That looks good to me. Yeah, that was the track I was talking about earlier. That was like, I already know where I'm going to put those. Neo Bowser City is a really good track that gets held back by low traction. That being said, it's still a really good track. It's just, I'm struggling to decide whether I would put this A tier or S tier. I think I would. Yeah, honestly, I might put this in S tier. It's really close. I think it's going to be low S tier, but... Nice. Never punished. Like, baby Luigi, slow down. You should not be that close behind me after the way I've been driving this track. Now we're going away a lot more. These S turns can be annoying sometimes for sure, but like it is kind of it's definitely a skill issue for sure. Because they used to frustrate me to no end. But also the fact that you could like get bumped off by them pretty easily is annoying too. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put this one down here so we can just ignore it for now. But I think personally this one just barely misses S tier for me. There's just too much there. I think like just the fact that so much can go wrong on it is, if you get unlucky. Oh, I still have a snooze for my ads. I'm gonna use one of those for 5 minutes. Can I get through the rest of the tracks in 5 minutes? We've only got 3 left. Oh boy, Ribbon Road. What is there to say about Ribbon Road? Well, a lot, actually. This is also one of the best tracks aesthetically, but oh my god, this track is fucking annoying to play. It's just so inconsistent and weird to drive on. These shortcuts just don't feel good to take. Like, you could land it and still miss. It'll probably happen here. Okay, it didn't, but a lot of times you try to take that shortcut and, like, you just have too much momentum going to the side, so you just completely fall off. There's basically nothing you can do about it. just barely made that. Like, I'm playing this track pretty well right now, but I always do horrible on this track online because it's just so hard to get things consistently, especially with lag trails and getting bumped around and shit. Like, oh my god, this track is agonizing to play online, and especially because of these fucking roads, the titular ribbon roads that are on cycles that I refuse to learn, okay? This is, like, having to learn the cycles for these things, I'm sorry, that is fucking ridiculous. I'm not doing that. I don't care if that makes me bad at the game. I have my dignity. What little is left of it anyway. That being said, it's definitely not the worst track in the game. It's just not that good. It's definitely better than Animal Crossing, though, that's for sure. I think it's just below Mario Kart Stadium. Is it? Yeah. Is it below Mario Kart? No, because it's definitely better than Sherbert Land. But is it? It's so close. That's the thing. I think Mario Kart Stadium needs to be a little bit lower, maybe. No, I feel kind of comfortable with where that is. Where does Ribbon Road go? Because, like, it's kind of similar to Sherbert Land. I would say it's probably better than Mario Kart Stadium, so... Is it better than Sherbert Land? These two are so close for me, honestly, I don't know. I can't definitively say which one is better, because they're so similar. I can't decide. I'm actually stumped on this one. I don't know which one is better. Or I guess which one is worse. I think I'm gonna put Ribbon Road above it. Because as much as I hate driving on it, actually might even go about Cheese Land. Is it better? It's better than Rainbow Road. Okay, I'm definitely ranking this too low. I'm just like going through now. Yeah, it would beat that. I think maybe I need to shift the tiers a little bit, so I think I would probably put that C tier. I think, probably there. Actually, is it now the question is it B tier or C tier? I'm gonna go B tier. I think it gets held back a lot by how janky it is. It's a good track, but it could have been better. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I feel comfortable with that. Oh, I have more snoozes for ads? Okay, cool. We don't have to deal with ads anymore, then. So I'll be done by the time they're run out. Super Bell Subway is one I don't see very often, or at least I have not seen recently. And I think that's a reflection of how many people like it. I think this track is underrated, personally. I guess this is technically like a traffic track because of the trains, but it is like way less annoying than traffic because it's far more predictable. That being said, it is also really hard to, like, stay ahead. Case in point. Nice. Finally, a blue shell that's not hitting me. Shaka, you need to back up, dude. How are you keeping up with me? I guess I wasn't that far ahead, but like... the fact that he's keeping pace with me so well is insane. But yeah, this... I think, oh, jeez. Yeah, I think this track is fun once you overlook the trains. Well, not that you even should overlook them. It's just, I don't think, like... I feel like that's the only reason people think this track is annoying, and I don't know if that's, like, a valid reason to think so, because... I don't think the trains, like, are enough to make this a bad track. So... So where's this one gonna go, then? I don't know, I don't feel comfortable putting it in A tier, but... I think there. I think I'm good with that. I kind of actually, no, I like it more than Ice Ice, honestly. You know what? I think this deserves A tier. You can bitch about the trains all you want. Get good. Alright, I think... yeah, this is it. This is the last one. For now, anyway. We're gonna do the other ones later. Yeah, I definitely have some things to say about this track too. Nice red skip. That, I think, in theory, this is a really cool track, and I think in a casual setting, it works. But playing this track competitively is just a nightmare. It feels like it's so hard to just do anything. Break. Go away. There, pause. I lost my mouse. There we go. Like, it's so easy to pull shock there, because again, Cannon Glider. That's the first one we've seen in a while, but... like, it's so easy for people to pull shock there, like that. Second place dodged with a bullet, like... and then at the end, this is just such a clusterfuck. It's so hard to try to do anything here. It's so easy to get hit out. Although being able to do that is cool. But it's not really, it doesn't really help you much. Yeah, so I think a lot of the reasons I'm gonna rank this track the way I do is for personal reasons. I think I'm gonna put it here. Come on. Yeah, I feel comfortable with that. I think I might move Sweet Sweet Canyon up a bit, actually. I think maybe I was too quick to judge Excitebike. I don't think it quite deserves F tier. Like, honestly, I do think it's better than Toad's Turnpike. But it is better than most Animal Crossing variants. So I think it at least deserves D tier. I'd probably pick it over these two, but not Rumble. Yeah, I feel good with that. And that's it. I think that's gonna be what... I think that's gonna be our final verdict for now. Until we get to the new... or until we get to all the other courses. But there it is. There's our tier list so far of the first 48. Call it. So hopefully I will be back again before World comes out to finish this. I'm sure I will be, because I have plenty of time next week before the launch to do it. I just have to, do it. I mean, I am still like somewhat busy, but not so busy that I can't set aside a couple hours to do this again. So that's what I'm going to do. And that is where I'm going to call it for today. Feel pretty comfortable with that. But Baby Luigi and Shy Guy were really close for... Actually, the top three were all really close for some reason. I'm just looking at the score. They were all within 15 points of each other, which is crazy for this many races. But then again, CPUs don't really perform insanely well or insanely poorly. So, I mean, I guess compared to others, some of them are, but... I wonder if this is a reflection of how the AI works for this game. Like, you always have 3 characters that are like your rivals, and then you have 6 characters that are just kind of mid, and then you have 2 characters that are just really bad. I don't know. Anyway, that's going to be it for me. Yeah, and ad's about to start, so I'm going to end before the... I don't know if there's anybody to rate or anything. I mean, I could check, but I don't think anybody I know is streaming right now. Also, I might have just made a huge mistake in leaving that page. Whoops. Yeah, there's nobody live. We're just gonna call it there. All right. Well, thanks for checking this out. I'm excited to do the rest. So look forward to part 2, where we do all the booster course pass 1s, 2, and then we will have a full